So we're here to solve this elegant cave puzzle by William Hu. It has a starting theme that looks to involve this diagonal. One thing we know when we have diagonally adjacent clues is at least one of the cells off of them will be part of the cave, and with a clue like a 3, we're going to take this cell to the left or to the top, and we're going to take a cell to the bottom or to the right, but we're not going to take both. So there'll be some unused cell on each of these sides and also some unused cell on each of these sides. And the star of this puzzle looks to actually be tied to the either-or option on one of these 3s. And the reason I say that is this grid has a pretty unique size. It's 9 by 9. And the corner clues are all 7s. And if I mark off a cell like this as not part of the cave, this 7 is going to come straight across, put an unused cell here. The 7 comes straight down, puts an unused cell there. The 7 comes straight across, unused cell, last 7 here. And in the flip side, where this cell is not used, the 7's here, 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 and here. And so you effectively get a situation where one of the 2 scenarios, either the circled cells or the X'd cells, are not part of the cave, and everything else in these rows and columns is. And the starting thing for us to see are that these 5 middle cells in each of the edge rows and edge columns are part of the cave, and one or the other of those is not, and that's going to go all the way around the grid. And so that sets up a pretty interesting scenario, which we see here, which is that we have a cave that really has 2 main exits. It will be one of these cells, and then the next ones in are certainly needing to be exits. There'll be some unused cells, for instance, off of this 3, since one of these cells is used. We can't take more than one clue in any direction off of 3, so like this cell is unshaded. And so we're seeing this. This cell has to somehow get to this part and then get out and connect to an edge of the grid. So the next thing to really do is to figure out some of the places we can extend any of these clues to help us figure out what the interior of the grid looks like. And this 3 looks to be fairly limiting for the 7 clue to its left. A thing to note is that one but not both of these cells will be taken. So the maximum this 7 can take is something like 1, 2, or 1, 2 to the top or to the left. This is 3, 4, 5 going to the right, but we can't go further. And so 6, 7, and all shadings of this puzzle, or in all groupings of cave clues in this puzzle, the 7 must come down at least 2 cells. That means we now actually can't take the cell to the left because the 3 has to take 1, but only 1 to the right or bottom. So those aren't used. The 3 is going to extend over like this. The cell now has to be unused, so the 3 is validly using the space. We're now back to the same count we had before. We have 1, 2, 3, as many as 4, 5. In either direction, 6. This has to take 1 more coming down. And now we've got a whole channel here. All of these have to be unshaded so that this cell here can connect back to this point. And this has to get somehow out to the rest of the cave, and so these have to also be unshaded so there's a connection from this corner piece into these unshaded bits. We've got 1, 2, 3, could be 4, but must be 5. Let's think about the remaining options for this. If this 7 takes 2 more cells going over here, it's going to isolate these unshaded cells inside. There's no place for them to go, and so it's got to come up and take the last 2 cells here. That actually puts this into the grid. The 3 taking 1 more cell means that both of these are no good. They're outside of the cave. These still have to connect, so we'll actually have to connect through a cell like this. We marked that one of these has to be unshaded, and actually at this stage the further right one has to be unshaded. If the cave extended down here, it would isolate this cell. There's no good. Avoiding the checkerboard pattern would put something in like this. This is fully satisfied. From the checkerboard rule, this has to be part of the cave. This is now fully satisfied. Can propagate the edges of the grid based on the logic we set at the start. Checkerboard rule down here for these cells to use. This 5's taken 3 cells. It's going to take at least one more to the left or to the top, which will be 4, so it can't be 5, 6 over here. So this is not used, not taken. The 5 then comes all the way over. We've got 1, 2, 3 to the 5. If it takes this, it still has to take this, so let's put that in. The 7 has 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5, potentially 6, but must take at least this cell. That marks this unusable. This now has exactly 7, so this shape looks to be what's forced. 3 cells already used there, and these cells have to extend out in the unshaded space. So that is the completion of the puzzle. It was a really incredible starting pattern. The 4 corner 7s and then this diagonal shape with a pin to 3 led to an either or, but through that either or marked off sets of cells that must be part of the cave along the edges. And we could then use the fact that cave cells have to get out to start to make some headway into the grid, working from the left side, but eventually through the whole puzzle. So if you know all the tips and tricks to do cave puzzles, this shouldn't have been as hard as Friday difficulty, but it was, as I said at the start, a very elegant construction. Hope you learned something about it, and we look forward to talking again soon.